We are so excited to be here today because of the power of partnerships. Say that with me, the power of partnerships. It is a power between, exactly, just channeling my inner MRT there, for those of you guys who know the supervisor. The power of partnerships between the federal government, the city, our housing authority, and most importantly, the community. Because when we bring the community to these events, we learn and we hear what it is that we need in our neighborhoods. Los Angeles is a city of opportunity, and Los Angeles is a city of belonging. We say no matter who you are or where you come from, you belong here. Now, who was born in LA? All right, who's lucky enough to have moved here? All right, whether you're smart enough to have moved here or lucky enough to have been born here, we are all Angelinos. And we know that whether it's a fourth generation Angelino like myself or somebody who just recently came here, that Los Angeles is a place of unparalleled chances. We are a city of second chances. We are a city that is always looking towards the future and rethinking what we can do. And we're united in a belief about what brings us together, not what divides us. Sometimes we watch the news and pick either side. It feels like we're ripped in the middle and ripped in half. But when we come together, we realize we still are the United States of America. We are one nation under God. We are a people who want to be one single community, and that's what we celebrate here today. And people today are facing some tough times. They're facing rents that are going up. They're facing healthcare costs. They're facing opportunities that they are missing, and anxiety about the future, especially our economy, looking for those middle-class jobs that used to fuel our parents and our grandparents' middle-class existence. Now we're wondering, will those jobs still be around in the future because of automation, because of technology, because of all the things that are coming? Well, we are here to say that to prepare for tomorrow, you have to be ready today. And rhetoric is never enough. We need results. And that's why we are here at Nickerson Gardens, to show work and results, to have a concrete program that will help improve the lives of those residents that are right here. A milestone made possible by the taxpayers of America and through our federal government, a $3.7 million award. Thank you to our federal representatives from the Department of Housing and Urban Development, the largest amount awarded nationwide for this program. Throw into that $1.4 million of your taxpayer dollars locally, leveraged by the Housing Authority of the City of Los Angeles, and we have the Jobs Plus program. So what is Jobs Plus? Jobs Plus program here at Nickerson Gardens will connect more than 700 residents to good-paying construction and healthcare careers between now and 2023. Now, you notice I didn't say jobs, I said careers, because jobs are nice, but careers are better. And that's our goal. I'll dig a little deeper in a moment to the program, but before I get too far, I'd like to acknowledge those leaders that I mentioned that are up here, our Congress member, council member, director of the LA field office for HUD, the president and CEO of the Housing Authority, and also I know Chris Wilson's in the House, district director for Assemblymember Mike Gibson. Where's there? He is, right over there. And John Reamer, who is our general manager of our Economic and Workforce Development Department. He also heads up a second department at our Department of Public Works. He's the only man who's got two departments. He's not getting paid double, but we love him doubly for the work that he's getting done. We are living in extraordinary times. Business is booming. We've got more jobs than ever in the history of Los Angeles. We're bringing the Olympics home for a third time in 9 years, so get ready, especially the young people. Pick your sport, because we want to see you medal right here in the Coliseum. We've cut unemployment in half. Our skyline is changing every day with 100,000 plus new units of housing. And we can't build those fast enough when we see people living in tents or just struggling with rent. But milestones like those are not just the way that we judge our success in the city. We measure the strength of our city by the lives that we change, the opportunities that we give. We look at ourselves about where not you've been, but where you want to go, who you want to be, and how we can help you get there. That's what this Jobs Plus program is all about. The new Employment Resource Hub, or the Plug at Watts Works, will connect public housing residents here to jobs in the healthcare and construction industries. This will range from careers with Los Angeles World Airports, which is in the midst of spending $14 billion to make LAX the best airport in America. It's now the fourth busiest airport in the world. to connecting you to some of the myriad healthcare firms that call the City of Angels home. This Jobs Plus program looks at those industries that need workers today and will need workers tomorrow, and give those folks who need jobs most, right here in Nickerson Gardens, the front of the line, first choice, the skills that they need, and the openings that they need as well. And I'm grateful to the Department of Housing and Urban Development. We just had the Assistant Secretary here yesterday, had a great meeting with her. We've made a historic agreement, I hope, knock on wood, to continue all of our great work with HUD moving forward. And it's a reminder of what, when we put our weapons down, what the federal and local government can do when we work together. And this award adds momentum to our work at City Hall to strengthen working families, whether it's been raising our minimum wage or cutting our city's business tax, whether it's been making community college free, which just 2 days ago the governor signed, and now the state has followed LA's lead, and we are the largest state in the country to make college free for its residents. Give Governor Newsom a round of applause, and the legislature as well. Or whether it's the construction programs, thanks to voters like Measure M, there's going to be 15 new rail lines and rapid transit lines in LA, and we need construction workers. It used to be that for a lot of African American, Latino families in World War II, and after that, we had our families working on the assembly lines to build bombers that helped us win the war. Well, after the end of the Cold War, those jobs disappeared. But instead of working on that assembly line for a bomber, now you can work on the Crenshaw line, or the extension of what will be a brand new line going to the southeast of this county called the West Santa Ana branch. Vermont Avenue, where we're going to have a bus rapid transit and or light rail line. And so these things together, free college, a higher minimum wage, the job training in the professions we need, this is what Los Angeles and this Golden State is all about. From our Bridge home site on Imperial, which will help 100 Angelinos, thanks to the leadership of Councilmember Buscaino, get off the streets and out of tents and indoors. Give him a round of applause for that, and thank the Housing Authority. To new units of affordable housing. I was just up the street with Marquise Harris Dawson in his district this morning, breaking ground on one of the 151 new apartment buildings we are building to help folks that are either homeless and or in need of affordable housing as well. And we see Watts rising, thanks to state dollars that are putting Watts at the front of the line when it comes to electric buses and community gardens and solar power. We don't want the environmental movement just to be for those who can afford a Tesla or have a mansion on the west side. We want it to be right here in public housing and in this beautiful rising neighborhood that has had the safest years we have seen in decades, thanks to the great work of our LAPD officers and the community and grid workers. Give them a round of applause as well, and thank them for what they do with our community safety partnership. We know we aren't just turning around and transforming lives, we are saving lives, and these things work. Nothing stops a bullet like a job. We know that. Nothing opens up opportunity like work. And so we know that there is a girl right now in Nickerson Gardens studying hard to graduate, and she's going to be working soon at LAX because she can lead those crews, build an airport, and look with her children back and saying, Mama, and one day Grandma, she built that. That's my work, my labor. Because it can be the politicians who take credit, and we never resist the chance to take credit, do we? But it's the people who actually go up there and build things that make it happen. Somebody who will save a life in a hospital because of the healthcare career that he will have, maybe working as a nurse or a physician's assistant. And the Angelinos will benefit from this Jobs Plus program. They're going to take us to unimaginable places, places we never believed possible. So I'll say a couple words in Spanish, and then I'm going to hand it over to your great Congresswoman who's doing an extraordinary job leading not only this district, but this country on some of the most important fights that we have. Pero también brevemente, yo quiero decir que Los Ángeles es una ciudad de oportunidad. Y todos estamos unidos en la creencia que los angelinos deben tener oportunidades sin obstáculos. Que la gente necesita herramientas hoy para tener éxito en los trabajos de mañana. Las palabras nunca son suficientes. Necesitamos resultados. Y este es el equipo que está trayendo resultados por los residentes de Nickerson Gardens aquí hoy. Una meta hecha posible por los 3.6 millones de dólares premiados del Departamento de Vivienda y Desarrollo Urbano, la mayor cantidad premiada por el departamento en la nación por este programa. Y juntos con 1.4 millones de dólares locales en fondos por la Autoridad de Vivienda de la Ciudad de Los Ángeles, el programa de Jobs Plus, trabajos extra, I don't know, I'll translate it that way, aquí en Jardines de Nickerson, va a conectar a más de 700 residentes con empleos que necesitamos a construir el futuro de esta ciudad. Gracias a estos líderes, gracias a los residentes, gracias a nuestros oficiales de policía, gracias a todos los miembros de esta visión, porque juntos estamos muy fuertes, divididos estamos débiles, pero estamos un ejemplo por esta nación y por el mundo también. And with that, let me turn it over to the great Nanette Barragan.
Thank you. Well, thank you. I think the mayor said it best, partnership. It's working together at all levels, local, state, federal. That is what we need to do. Come together in a time where there's so much divisiveness, especially coming out of Washington. It's locally working together. And so I want to also thank all the partners, especially those advocates and residents at Nickerson Garden who have been pushing for change, for pushing for goodness. And for Doug, all the work you do day in and day out. It's not a day that I go out and about and I don't see Doug out in the community, especially here in Watts, on saying what can we do and helping the community and making sure there's housing there. And he comes and visits me in Washington and says, we also got to keep pushing here. And so I want to thank him, certainly Mr. Mayor and Council Member, for your work and your partnership in working on these projects and pushing. It takes a lot of people to make things like this happen. There's not one person in particular. It's everybody working together. And the healthcare partners that have come together as well to making sure that they're going to be able to give the benefit to the residents and the skill sets that's necessary. You know, we talked a little bit about the Jobs Plus program. One of the aspects that I'm particularly excited about too is the partnership between HACLA and the Department of Health and Human Services. Now, I sit on a committee in Congress called Energy and Commerce. The subcommittee for healthcare does everything healthcare related, and there's a huge issue, especially here in the district, of racial health disparities and health disparities we're seeing in our communities. So what better than to hire from within our community to address these disparities and have people in these careers who not only understand those disparities but are going to help close the gap. Because we must continue to address this healthcare gap. And that's going to be through opportunity, through career, through training, certainly through jobs. And so that work of providing opportunity and jobs, what's exciting for me is that it's going to be happening right here in Nickerson Gardens. Let's give everybody a round of applause for that amazing accomplishment.
All right.
And so with that, I just wanted to be here to join into the celebration, but the work is just starting, and we must make sure we follow through. We make sure we follow through, that the people that need the opportunities get the opportunities, and that we put people to work right here. And so with that, congratulations to all our partners. Know that I'm going to continue to fight for everything from HUD funding to more opportunities for our community. And that's a little bit of a challenge these days in Washington. And I wish I could tell you there were more opportunities like this throughout the district to say that we were able to get more federal funding. Because right now there's a lot of focus on cutting funding to programs. And so that's why I think this is so critically important, and why today is even a more special day in celebrating this accomplishment. But we have a lot more work to do, and I will be there with you every step of the way. Thank you.
Give it up for Congresswoman Barragan. Thank you so much, Nanette. And next up is no stranger to Nickerson Gardens. He has spent time here on the ground. His staff has done amazing work to work with our housing authority to revitalize our public housing stock. He is reinvesting throughout his district and leading the way in our fight against homelessness. Please welcome your council member, Joe Buscaino.
Thanks, brother. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Come on, Watts, make some noise. $3.5 million in jobs programming coming here in our community. I'm fired up. I don't know about you. This is a great day for us in Watts. I'm often reminded the beauty of this community. a community of faith, of family, of service. Nickerson Gardens has been the epicenter of sharing those community values here in Watts. Just not too long ago, we gave the key to Watts to J-Rock. And as J-Rock, a lot of folks have come through Nickerson Gardens, been successful. We cannot forget that. And because he was given a chance. And this $3.5 million HUD grant will give those chances to our residents and to give them an opportunity provide self-sufficiency, give them an opportunity to put food on the table. And I'm so happy and proud to represent this area at this time. And Mayor indicated it very well. I always call my fratello, my hermano, Eric Garcetti, America's mayor. And as we advocate for municipalities throughout this country, he does so in the U.S. Conference of Mayors. I've been blessed to serve as an officer with the National League of Cities. And we've been advocating for the federal government to not forget about local municipalities. And these are the type of program that I'm so proud to stand with our Congressmember Berrigan, who continues to fight day in and day out for these types of services in Washington, D.C. You turn on CNN and Fox News, if you do watch Fox News, and how the Congressmember indicated so divided this country on looking at ways to separate us. But today gives us an opportunity to remind ourselves that there is good opportunities here with this type of grants that's coming from the federal government down to the local level. And this center that you see before you has done amazing work in Nickerson Gardens here in Watts. They provided a number of youth programs here for HACLA, the Community Safety Partnership that the mayor indicated earlier. The Resident Advisory Committee offices here is the ground zero for the RAC to meet. Our computer lab, and now this Jobs program, this Jobs Plus program here at Nickerson Gardens. As you heard from the mayor, this program will provide job training and placement in core industries like healthcare, construction, hospitality, retail, and security. Residents will have an opportunity to be hired as community coaches who will promote the type of programs to their neighborhoods right here on site. And the big benefit of the Jobs Plus program is that participants don't have to worry about potentially losing their housing because they have an increased income. This program will allow residents to save and pay off debt and build towards a healthy financial future. So we couldn't be more delighted to announce this program right here in Nickerson Gardens. I'm blessed in a way that I represent the largest number of public housing sites. And just on the other side of town at Jordan Downs, we are doubling the housing footprint and bringing in for the first time in decades a new commercial center that will be home to a Nike flagship store here in Watts. Yes, a Nike flagship store will be here in our backyard. And the partnership that I'm so proud of with Doug Guthrie and HACLA, and I see John King and I see Jennifer Scanlon among others, and our Watts Neighborhood Council members who are here, our Watts Gang Task Force members who are here, our community-based organization, the fact that, as you heard the mayor, the Watts Rising Transformative Climate Communities Grant, we awarded $35 million. I often say, Mr. Mayor, if you're going to rate how well I do as a council member, rate how well I do in this community in Watts. And this, again, is another great day for our community in Watts, and we'll never forget the amazing success that we have, and yet at the same time identify the challenges, as you heard from the mayor, on homelessness. We are building towards solving homelessness and not managing it, and I'm proud to have a community that has embraced solutions like the Bridge Home site down the street on Imperial, which is set to bring people off the sidewalks and into a Bridge Home shelter in the next couple months. So that's what we're talking about, solution driven and providing opportunities for residents here in Watts. May God bless and continue to protect each and every one of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe Buscaino. Thank you to you and your CD15 team. Now it's my great pleasure to introduce the President and CEO of the Housing Authority of the City of Los Angeles. He's led our housing department. He's built housing in Chicago. He's been a national leader. He came out to LA and has not only re-envisioned what public housing can be, he's re-envisioning how housing is just a part of community. And really it is a community reinvigoration that he has led. Please welcome Doug Guthrie.
Thank you, Mayor. It's always my great pleasure to follow speakers like Mayor Garcetti and the council member and the congresswoman. They're so loquacious, and then I have to get up here and speak. But it's fun to do these sorts of events. We couldn't be more excited about seeing everybody out here, about having the opportunity to bring these resources, not just into Watts, but specifically targeted to the residents here at Nickerson Gardens. I know you see this little campus-like setting that we have here, and we've got the word "The Plug Watts Works" at Nickerson Gardens. You're probably curious what PLUG stands for. It stands for Pathways Leading You to Greatness. And that's not a trite phrase. That is really what we expect to come out of Nickerson Gardens. We've seen many success stories come out of here. So this program is an opportunity to stay focused, to bring the resources that's not only job training, job placement, it's counseling. We hope to be adding pretty soon to some additional partners that are going to be working here on healthcare related issues. As a matter of fact, we have so many partners, I can't announce all of them, but let me just mention a few. As was mentioned, we have our Community Safety Partnership headquarters for Nickerson Gardens back here in the orange. This is kind of nice. I can just point out a color and tell you where everybody's going to be here. But in the orange here, and thank you to LAPD, thank you to the Community Safety Partnership that we have. Commander, thank you for being here and for running the show. Really appreciate it. It's a great job. We've got Jackie and Marcia from DPSS here, Robert, David, Greg from EWDD, and John, of course, it was announced earlier. Hopefully Maria is here from Kaiser Permanente. Maria has been bringing Kaiser out here on a voluntary basis, doing a lot of work in the community, has healthcare counseling services around the corner. They're going to have more of a presence here as well. We've got Cedars-Sinai Watts Healthcare Corporation that's going to be participating in programs here. Martin Luther King Community Hospital, we're in partnership here as well. So this isn't just an employment center, it's much more than that. It's here to provide residents at Nickerson Gardens a friendly, safe place to come. We know how challenging it can be, particularly when you don't have employment or you're underemployed, to take that first step, to reach out, and we want to be a supportive community and help you very much along the way. As was also mentioned, we've got our Jobs Plus Center, Community Safety Partnership. We have a Resident Advisory Committee that does a lot of work on behalf of the community, have regular food banks out here when needed. We've got a great computer center over here that will be an introductory center for Jobs Plus. And to the extent you may not be a Nickerson resident, but you're out here, we're going to connect you with our WorkSource Center, which is just down the Imperial Highway from here. So we're looking forward to that as well. So I just encourage everybody to take advantage of the opportunities that are here. We're going to be here to support you and to really make a difference. So thank you so much for coming out today. This is the beginning of a lot of good things to come here at Nickerson Gardens. Thank you. So with that, I now have the pleasure to introduce our next speaker. Mr. Ray Brewer has been a friend of our organization for a long time now. Ray is the field office director for the Los Angeles office of HUD, which is, I believe, the largest field office in the country, I believe. And Ray has been doing this for some time. He's always there. Doesn't matter what administration's in Washington, Ray's there for us. Marcy Chavez, that runs the Public Indian Housing Programs, is here. Always there for us, always supportive. When we have issues, problems, red tape, they're the first ones to cut through it. So please welcome Mr. Ray Brewer. Ray?
All righty, thank you, Doug. I'm going to go off script a little bit because of the mayor's words of wisdom and Doug's words and the councilman and the congressional representative. But I want to start out by thanking someone that I don't always recognize, and I sort of sometimes might take her for granted and other HUD staff for granted. I'm going to ask Ms. Chavez to stand up and be recognized. She is our public housing director, and she does a potpourri of activities, including the largest HUD program that HUD oversees and administers, and that is our Housing Choice Voucher program. So thank you, Marcy, for all that you do. With that said, I'm going to also echo what I've heard today. The key to success, certainly in having HUD programs work, is through the partnership. HUD does not, in many of our programs, directly administer that program to those that are served by them, that we ask our partners to do that. Doug, you and your staff do a wonderful job. In fact, I'm going to shout his kudos by saying that the Housing Authority, City of LA, is one of the highest performers of all housing authorities in the nation. So, Doug, congratulations. You're doing a fine job, outstanding job. And this is my chance to say thank you. Again, they are making the difference in how a program works. So I just want to say also that when Secretary Carson was here back in February, he did deliver a huge check that's been mentioned already. But I want to quote something that I heard him say while he was here, that while he presented the award, these investments help public housing residents reach their dreams. The program is not democratic, it's not Republican, it's a program for all. So, you know, on behalf of HUD, I just want to say that I'm honored to be present at the launching of the Jobs Plus Community Health Worker Program at Nickerson Gardens, and I continue to look forward to partnerships to improve the lives of families and individuals all throughout Southern California. Thank you very much. Thank you, Doug.
Slide in here. Okay, now for our final and probably the most important speaker that we have here today. It's my honor to introduce someone whose story is a powerful testimony to the tenacity, the skill of our Nickerson residents, and really a picture of what is possible here. Julie Langardi is $1 million, or a million job, not $1 million, you wish. You asked me to add a couple zeros to your paycheck, but we couldn't do that. A million jobs graduate, and a longtime resident of Nickerson Gardens. She's currently working for the Painters Union.
Yeah, right.
And just incredibly grateful that she's here today to share her success story. She's been doing this for a while now, and she's just terrific. And there are a lot more Julies we're going to find out here in Nickerson Gardens before we're done.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm Julie Lagarde. I'm a resident here. I've been living here for 10 years now. And I've been actually in the union for 7 years. I'm a journeywoman painter. And I actually got started with the little job that housing has. I always took advantage. I always came and did the resident jobs for 6 months. And I always stayed in the workforce center bugging Lena and whoever. And all of them, I used to bug everybody. So when they start painting here, I was bugging the owner of the company because I was liaison. I wasn't in the union yet. We was opening all the doors. So every day I was like, Bobby, can I get in the union? Can I work? And he'd be like, are you sure you want to do this, Julie? I'm like, yeah, I got it. So when we finally finished, he gave me a temp to hire letter, and I've been doing it since 2012. And actually, it's hard because it's construction. It's not like regular painting. I'm doing construction. I'm on 12-story buildings, hanging off scaffolds. So it's like, whew, it's tough, but you got to stick in there because now it was just a job to people. Now I have a career, and it pays well. So I just encourage everybody to just take advantage of the jobs that they have around here because it pays off at the end. And I'm still sticking in there. And I'm trying to get a housing job, the resident job.
Come on, Doug.
if it's available. So, yeah, I need the application, Doug. So, yeah, just,
You don't need now.
and I encourage the ladies too, because you know it's not a lot of ladies in construction. They don't like to do it, but we can do it just like they could. So, just thanks for having me, and everybody stay encouraged.
Awesome. Thanks, Julie. Great job.
See me after this little conference here. I don't think you need an application, Julie. We know who you are. So just to finish this up, I wanted to thank everyone that's here today. Of course, you're our great mayor, the greatest mayor in the country by far, and our great member of council here, the Congresswoman that I believe had to leave, and all the other speakers as well. And before closing, just a couple of other special thank yous. That goes out to my own staff at HACLA, the people that really made this happen. That starts with Jenny Scanlon. Jenny's here. I think everybody in Watts now knows you, Jenny. You're out here so often.
You know, I forgot one thing. This is kind of like my Tom LaBonge moment for anybody who knows Tom LaBonge. You know what today is, Angelinos? That's right. It's our birthday, LA. Happy 238th birthday, Los Angeles. We're going to look a day over 235.
Wow. I'm going to have to tell that to my daughter. It's her birthday today, too.
Nice.
She's not 238 years old. She's only 20. But I just wanted to send a thank you out to Jenny Scanlon. Jennifer Thomas is here, who oversees our work source and some of our educational initiatives. Of course, Pam Page is here. She's everywhere. Everybody has to know who Pam Page is. Tom Mills is here, who's our manager of the Nickerson Garden site, and all of his great crew that's out here that fixed up this campus, that does all this work. Margarita Lares is here, that oversees our public housing and our Section 8 program. And then finally, I just want to give kudos to whoever picked the paint colors for out here. What do you think about this paint job? Okay, Pam and Jennifer, you get credit for this. I don't know about everybody else, but I love it. I think this is terrific. So again, thanks to everyone that's coming out. Look forward to serving the community and look forward to seeing a lot of new jobs being created here. Thank you very much.